What's up, guys? It's Dano. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to start a rap without it sounding a little bit off. So, this question could have been taken one of two ways. I'm going to answer one of the kind of interpretations in this video, and then I will make another video kind of answering another version of the interpretation. So the way that I'm taking it is basically how to start rapping without it sounding dumb or corny. And by that I mean how you can put together a verse that sounds kind of authentic and realistic. Now, there's kind of a distinction that we have to make right off the bat, which is if you're getting called corny, that's one thing. But if you personally think that your raps are corny, that's more of a confidence issue. Now, that's in a couple of other different videos, so I'm going to focus on the first case, which is if other people are saying that about your work. These are the three things to think about when you start writing a verse. The first thing you have to do is consider who is actually listening to your music. Your audience makes a really big difference on how you're interpreted and how people see your work. So, for example, if your audience is typically listening to gangster rap and you're doing some kind of pop type rap, then obviously there's a good chance that it's going to get taken in a way that other people end up calling you corny. In the same vein, you might be doing something that's kind of like club music. If your audience is more lyrical, then same thing. You might be interpreted as not making music that's very good. There's really only two ways to get around this. One is you either change your style, or two, you look for a new audience. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I kind of push towards the side of just finding a new audience, because the music that you make, you want to be authentic to you. It's a lot harder to change your style based on other people's expectations than it is to just kind of tap into what you have and find what people resonate with that naturally. The next thing for you to consider is what's your message? What kind of content are you talking about, and how authentic is it to you? How real does it sound? So Drake, for example, gets called corny because his music or his persona doesn't always match who he appears to be in other circumstances. Basically, occasionally he does, some softer songs, but then tries to act harder in some of his other songs. And for a lot of people, that harder side of himself isn't really that believable, and it comes across corny. But we've got another example, prime example, Rick Ross. He's making music about stuff that he hasn't really lived through. A lot of people think that that's super corny because it's not things that he's actually familiar with, but other people don't really mind because they think the music just sounds good. The main point here is that authenticity is a big theme in rap, and it plays a big role in how people perceive you. So you're going to want to make something that feels authentic to you, and then that should be able to translate across to other people. For example, if you grew up in a really safe place in the suburbs and you're talking about how hardcore you are, a lot of people are going to end up calling you corny because it doesn't really match who you are. The last thing to think about is what kind of technical skill you're displaying when you're creating your raps. So a lot of times the raps that are called corny are because they're being given at a very basic level. It's missing a lot of the important poetic techniques that you need to be really respected as a rapper. So stuff like metaphor, wordplay, multi-syllable rhymes, stuff like that, that makes the verse more interesting, and that way people are more likely to get on board with it. Luckily, this is pretty easy to fix. All you have to do is get back into the fundamentals, learn them a little bit better, and start polishing them up and utilizing them. This has a twofold ability of people giving you less, criticism around being corny, but it also is just going to raise the overall level of your verse and give you more ways to express your messages uniquely. Hopefully that helps give you a couple things to think about if people have been giving you a lot of critique about your style of rapping. Like I said, the other piece of that is confidence, which I can cover in another video. I'm going to save it for another time. Beyond that, though, if you have any questions, comments, topics you want me to cover, throw them down in the box below. I've also got a full 30-day course. You can find that in the link down below. And I've also got a website, rapbetter.com. You can check out for some more resources. That's all. Hopefully next time I have this recording area fixed a little bit better for you, but I'm having a hard time finding space where it's not super loud. And that's it. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the videos, and if you have any questions, comments, or topics you want me to cover, leave them down in the box below and I'll get to them as soon as possible. See you next time.